thank you for tuning in. Better Stan Leo here. So today, I'm going to talk about the winter gear. What do you wear in the winter when it's freezing outside? And I got a couple solutions depending on just how cold it gets. I'm in Georgia here, so, I do all year riding, and the winters do get cold considerably at times, even in the 20s and less, but I usually try not to go out any time when it's lower than 20, but I will walk you through the different pieces of equipment that I wear and show you how I wired up my bike so I can plug in some of that nice warm gear. And thank you for tuning in, and be happy to share any of your comments and suggestions for what you do for the winter as well. All right, let's get started here. Let me do my scripture reading for the day, and we'll get going. This is Mark chapter 9, verse 7. Then a cloud came, casting a shadow over them. Then from the cloud came a voice. This is my beloved Son. Listen to him. Okay, so like I was saying, everybody has a different tolerance to cold weather. And so I'm going to walk you through what I do for cold weather. I've used a couple of different solutions, and I'm going to walk you through what I use mainly for the extremely cold. I've been out in about 20-degree weather with this setup, and it works fine. I use several pieces of equipment. I use heated socks, thermals, chaps. I use the heated jacket and heated gloves, which are liners, and I'll go through those with you. And of course I use a face mask and whatnot around my throat. So and the helmet works pretty good. And I've been out in temperatures of 20 degrees. And then you got to add, that's the ambient temperature. And then of course when you're riding, you got to add on all the depending on how fast you're going, it's going to really dip that temperature. But I'll go ahead and start walking you through those different pieces of equipment right now. Alright, so the first thing we'll do is we'll go through the socks. Now, these are heated socks that I use. They're from a company called Weston. And these things work really good. They're pretty thick, even without any heat on them at all. They're pretty thick. But then when you add the battery packs, these battery packs will last about 6 hours, and they go into the side of the sock. Now, I've never really had to put them on high. If you put them on high, they're going to use more power, so they're going to last less. And I've used these for like pretty much all day. 6 hours on medium. They've lasted me pretty good. They work really well. The batteries do take longer to charge, so if you're going to be out for a long time, you may want to buy an extra set of batteries. But for me, the one battery pack works fine. Like I say, they last a good all-day ride. And then when you go to wash these guys, they say you should wash them like in one of those little bags, wash bag, cold water, and then don't put them in the heater, or don't put them in the dryer. Just let them air dry. But yeah, I've had these for years. Weston's a good company. They stand by their product pretty well. Haven't had any problem with it. The charger will take a lot longer. I mean, it took me pretty much all day to charge these. So if you're going to be going out all day long, you're going to want to charge them all night long for the next day. But for the most part, like I say, I've never had to put them on high. Put them on medium, and they'll last you a good at least 4 to 6 hours on medium, no problem. But yeah, that's the first step. So for my legs, I'll usually use like a pair of thermals or heated just thermals underneath your jeans, and that'll work for me till about 40 degrees. When it starts getting below 40, I have to start putting on chaps, and these chaps are really good. I got these from Street and Steel Cycle Gear. These are really good because they have a removable liner. So this liner here comes out, and it adds extra layer for you. So if you wanted to use them in a warmer temperature, you could. But this liner allows me to go in no problem 20 degrees easily. Definitely keeps you warm. And chaps can look kind of funky either way. I mean, everybody's got their got their opinions about them. But these things will keep you warm, no doubt. Highly recommend you considering that. Now, some guys have these heated pants, you can hook up as well. You plug in to your jacket or whatever, which I'll show you in a little bit. I use the heated jacket, but I don't go with the heated pants. The heated pants are supposed to work pretty good. I never tried those, never really needed to. But chaps are definitely something, because it's nice that you can take them off. It gets warmer. With those heated pants, they're underneath there, and they're just adding that. You don't breathe as much. But here you definitely can get some airflow and breathe and whatnot. But that's what I use from feet, legs up to the waist, and now I'll start going into what I use for the upper half. Okay, so what I use for my upper half is this heated jacket. It's Hot Wired is the name of the company. They make pants and liners. I use the liners with this as well, which go underneath your gloves, and it has the plug-ins here. It also has the plug-in where you plug your jacket in, and if you wanted to plug your pants in, you can plug your pants into here as well. But this jacket is amazing. Even if you don't hook this thing up, it's really good. Because it doesn't breathe. The material is I don't know how to explain it, but it's really warm, even though it doesn't look like much. But I hardly ever put this thing like a medium at the most. I've never had to use high on this. Now, one thing I would recommend is you wear a long sleeve shirt of some kind, either thermals or, possibly a sweatshirt, but a t-shirt is fine. A long sleeve t-shirt will work fine with this. But because you don't want this really right up against your skin, because it might burn. But definitely would recommend a long sleeve t-shirt. When I wear a t-shirt, and then I wear like a long sleeve or a sweatshirt over it, and then I'll put this on. And with that on there, and then my leather jacket on top of that, put this thing on medium, and I'm fine. What I have noticed is that the back tends to get warmer than the front in this case. So what I do is in my back, I'll put an extra layer of padding in the back, so it doesn't heat up my back as much, or at least I don't feel it. But on the front, definitely it keeps you warm, but the back tends to be a little hotter than the front. So what I do is put that extra layer on the back, and zip this bad boy up, plug it in, and I'll show you that on my bike, how I plug it in. And I'll tell you, this thing, it'll keep you toasty warm. And even those, think about it, I'm talking about, 30, 20 degrees ambient temperature, and then when you're on the bike going 50, 60 miles an hour, it really drops down to like, 0 degrees or so. It makes you really, really cold out there. But this stuff, the technology is amazing how warm this will keep you. But yeah, Hot Wired is the company I use for that, and I've had good results with it. Had it for a couple of years, it's been great. Highly recommend that. Okay, so for my hands, what I'll use is these liners. Now the liner, also by Hot Wired, this will plug right into the jacket. And what you do is you put your normal gloves on top of these. Now these gloves will keep you at 98 degrees, constant 98 degree temperature. And with a regular pair of gloves on here, and these guys, believe me, your hands are plenty warm. I have no issues whatsoever with my hands getting cold. They do also sell gloves, so you could buy their gloves. Gloves are a lot more expensive. These are much more cost effective because, you know, during the day, you may not need that heavy glove anyway. As it warms up, you can take these off and just use your regular gloves. Whereas if you had the big heavier gloves, which they have, they're expensive. They do plug in the jacket, but then you still have to have that big heavy glove all day. But it depends on what works for you. But that's what works for me. This way, I can put my regular gloves on here if I don't want to use them. If I get tired of them, they get too hot, I can take them off, put my gloves in, I'm fine. But it's a pretty cool system. Like I say, you could get the pants if you wanted and everything else, but these gloves, they'll plug right into the jacket. So the jacket has the outlet here where you just plug in your glove as well. So now you've got your glove, and you've got your arms, you've got your whole chest all plugged in, and then you just plug that into your bike once you have your connection set up on the bike, and I'll show you that, like I say, later. But yeah, I mean, now these things, there's no temperature control on these. There's just this constant 98 degrees, where the gloves have a high, medium, low setting on them, separate from the high, medium, low setting on the jacket. The jacket goes high, medium, low, but even with the jacket turned completely off, with a liner, it still stays at 98 degrees constantly. So, you know, it's all on what you want. But for me, these work great. Absolutely, highly recommend this setup for anybody who is looking to ride in the cold weather. But, all right, so now we've done the feet, the legs, chest, hands. The next thing I'll do is talk about, throat and the face. I'll show you what I use for that next. Okay, so for your throat, you want to keep that warm because, the jacket and everything's only going to go so high. So I got this this tube type thing, and it just goes over you and keeps your throat warm. You can use any kind of ski type tote tube that's used for skiing or whatever. Nothing really, but just something to add on there. Then I have this, which is a company called Freeze Out, and this thing is fantastic. I mean, because it actually comes down to protect your chest quite a bit as well. So you have this guy around your neck, and then you've got, on top of that, you got this, and this adds a little bit on the chest area as well. And, it works pretty good. I mean, you can still, it has holes in it here so you can breathe through it. So it breathes well. But it's called, the company is called Freeze Out. And this is called Warmer, the name of this space piece here. I mean, there's all kinds of companies that do this stuff. But at least you've got now pretty good warmth around your throat and your chest, your face. And then the helmet, for me, the helmet works fine. I don't even wear, I just wear, my regular doobad thing here on my helmet, and that keeps my head warm. I don't need anything for the head. But I mean, that's basically it. Now, when I put all this stuff on, I look like a spaceman, for Pete's sakes. When you put everything on, you put your chaps on and all this stuff, and you're like getting ready for, go out into space, which makes it kind of, awkward feeling at first. But you get used to it once you're riding around. It's not that bad. And if you stop off somewhere, it's pretty easy to get dressed back up. It doesn't take that long. But these are just some things to think about because of the warm weather. I mean, there's no reason why you shouldn't still ride in the cold weather. Just because it's cold outside don't mean you can't ride. Now think about it. I have a Sportster, so I don't have any fairing. I don't have any windshield, and it's just pretty much open. So, and this keeps me, very well protected and warm. So don't think that you can't get out there and ride just because it's cold. So what I'll do now is I'm going to show you. I'm going to take you out to the bike, and I'll show you what I did to wire everything up to plug it in. But it's really easy. It doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure that out. Okay, so I just wanted to show you how I hooked up everything here. Whether you get the, whether you get the jacket or if you get the liners, what you'll see is they come with this connector here. It's like a barrel connector type thing that you plug it into. And what I did was I just tie wrapped it up here, and you hook it up to your battery and a ground terminal and a battery terminal, and I just wired it right in here. So when I want to use it, I just plug it in and let it go. And then when I'm not using it, I just plug it. It has this nice little wrapper around here, so you can tie wrap it to the wire so it's not flopping around in the wind. But anyway, you unplug it and plug your barrel connector right in there, and then you're ready to go. So yeah, it's works out pretty good. And then of course when you're not using a bike in the winter time, it'd be a good idea to use a tender to keep. I have another video on that as well. So I always keep my bike connected up to a tender when I'm not riding it in the winter time. Make sure that I have the connector here, and I've got my tender set up so that it keeps it charged in the winter. Anyway, so yeah, so that's about it. It's pretty simple hookup. And if you have any questions, or if there's anything you'd like to add to what you might do in the winter time, I'd love to hear about it. It's a pretty simple setup that I have, and it works for me. So please do let me know. And if you like the videos and whatnot, do always like and subscribe and hook up to me here. I'll be putting more videos out as we go. I've got some rides here in Georgia and everything I've done to this bike as well. I may be putting a jockey shifter on here next, which may be my next project. I believe that I'm going to go ahead and do it. It's through Lead Sled. They offer a nice little behind the leg jockey shifter. I'll probably go ahead and do that shortly here over the next couple months. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and Butter Stan Leo signing out. God bless.